All right, good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. Guess I should have did that before I started the broadcast. um, welcome, welcome. Uh, Most people who check this out, not everybody, but a lot of people who check this out also check out the Lincoln Ware Show. And yeah, people made a huge deal about nonsense today, which is funny. I mean, it was funny. It wasn't. I'm not mad about it. Good afternoon, Andrea. Good afternoon. You can always give me a call, 513-717-5464, 717-5464. That's the number to get on board. That's the number to get on board. As always, drop in, say hi. Say hi. It's just a polite thing to do. That's what my mama told me. My mama says it's just polite. You come into the room, you say hi to everybody. So come in, say hi. And I got a few things that I want to discuss with y'all today. A few things. I have a computer. My laptop is sitting over here. So when you see me looking over here, I'm looking at my laptop. I need to. I typically don't use it, so it's not part of my setup. So I need to make room for the laptop. Tomorrow, it'll be like either here or here, one way or the other. Regis. Okay, drama. Hey, what's up? Uh, William, what's up? Brandy, greetings, Brandy. Hold on, let me just put this here. New comments will display here. Marquita, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Marquita. Come on in. I'm giving it a few minutes. Y'all know how I do. Give it a few minutes for people to transition from the Lincoln Ware Show to the afternoon experiment. For those who would like to, again, come in. Just say hi. Just say hi. My mama said that's what you're supposed to do. That's the polite thing to do. Sorry, I had to get that one throat clearing out. You can always give me a call, 513-717 King, Robert, Miss Lucky Charm, Crystal, Vincent, Jay, Tria. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Terry and Pros. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Um, Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Hold on. I got to do one other thing here. One other thing here. Um, uh, now I need to add this. Come on in. Come on in. I know I'm doing something, but y'all can still come in. Y'all can still come in. Uh, Put that there. Go here. And let me see. I missed a number of people. I apologize, y'all. I apologize. TC, Black Lion, Armand, David, Brenda. I think I said pros already. Tony. All right. I mean, let me get to it in just a second. Let's get even 30 people. Even 30 people. When I see 30 people up there, I'll shoot into my topic or topics. There we go. Got an even 30. I just cleared my throat. Um, all right. I got a few things that I wanted to discuss in no particular order of importance. Just as I click this really old, I got a really old MacBook Pro. So one of the old models. So it runs slow. So y'all forgive me, but it still works. Officers suspended after using racial slur. This officer, this was November of 2021. 2 complaints were filed. She was in a call center. Apparently, there were a number of calls that were coming in that were, not what they were supposed to be about. She got frustrated. Those call center calls when people call themselves Michael, but they speak with that accent and you can't understand what the heck they saying. So their name ain't Michael, but they still be trying to trick you. Y'all know. Matter of fact, I had a little run-in with them. Y'all remember I had the little run-in with them. They was trying to sell me. What were they trying to sell me? I don't even remember what they were trying to sell me. But they were trying to sell me stuff, and their name was like Michael and Todd, but they wasn't really Michael and Todd. She got frustrated, got into it with them, but she called them sand ins. Sand ins. And, somebody heard her. They said, I got to clear my throat again. Somebody heard her and said, they were upset about it because they said they got friends and family that are Iranian, and that was offensive to them. They got friends and stuff that are Iranian, and that was offensive to them. So they was trying to get me signed up for Medicare. Okay. I couldn't remember what it was. I just remember us having the long conversations with them. But and then she said it again. And then this officer said it again. Now, when they talked about why, hold on. Oh, come on. Slow computer. Yeah, she felt like the telemarketers were picking on her. She felt like the telemarketers were picking on her. And, she ran down a whole lot of other stuff. She had some sickness in the family. Her husband had lost his job, just all kind of stuff. So it was stress. It was stress. Apparently, stress brings out the racist in you. Stress brings out the racist in you. I think if you're not a racist, I've been stressed. I've been stressed. And I've never called someone a racist term because I was stressed. If it's not in you, to do, then you probably won't do it. And this is on the job. Look, if you at home and Michael keeps calling you, talking about, I sell insurance and I wanted to hook you up with a great deal. If that's the case, all right, I see you getting frustrated and maybe saying some offensive stuff. Again, that's only if it's in you. Because if it's not in you, like, I don't know how many of y'all remember when I was going back and forth with the people. I never called them an offensive name. I didn't agree with them. I didn't, like them calling me, so I was picking with them. But I never called them an offensive name because that's not in me. That's not in me. Now, maybe if they would have started saying stuff, I'd have started talking about their mama or something like that. But it's not in me. I don't think I'm a racist. I don't think I'm a racist. Yeah, the Indian dude called me a liar. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And I didn't call him no saying N word and all of that kind of stuff. I didn't do all of that. I just kept picking with it until they eventually stopped calling me. Right, stress equals racism. How? The fact it gets accepted means it's by people who are also closet bigots. Yeah. And why should you even have to create a rule? Why is it necessary to have you can't use the racial slurs on the job? Now, again, and y'all can feel however y'all want to feel. I think it's different when, a black cop come up to me and we talking, and if that's a term, if I know him, or he's familiar with me and we use that terminology, that's different. That's different. And a lot of people don't agree with that. A lot of people feel like the word should just be abolished, but it's different. We got double standards. I'm all for certain double standards. So for that, I'm all right with it. For that, I'm all right with it. But this wasn't like a casual, like the other lady. I hate effing ends or effing ends. I hate them or whatever exactly it was that she said. That's different. And again, all of this stuff is coming out. All of this stuff is coming out. It says to me, it's not something that's uncommon. It's not something that's uncommon. And I go back to my idea of we should have known this. We should have known this when it happened. We should have known about this when the suspension happened. We should have known about this because we should get briefings. But I'm not going back into that tirade. But it's true. E-Man, where are you going in that brown blazer? I thought the funeral was yesterday. The funeral was yesterday. Ian can't just wear a blazer when he want to wear a blazer. Again, E-Man, you can't be calling people's mamas fat and greasy and think it's okay. Hey, if we battling, we trading insults. Insults is on the table. If insults is on the table, insults is on the table. I'm just telling you. And if that's where we going, then I don't have a problem going there. I don't have a problem going there. None whatsoever. Why would you let that bother you? Why would you let that bother you? I've never understood that. I've never understood that. No, hold on, let me tell you. I understand it. But again, my mama was like, why would you let that get you all bent out of shape? My mama nipped that when I was little. Got into a little fight. And my mama was like, somebody called my mama fat. I got into a fight. Because, nobody want to have a fat mama, even though clearly some people have fat mamas. There's nothing wrong with having a fat mama. If your mama fat, I don't know why that's an insult. It's just, but in my case, it wasn't a statement of fact. Is it an insult? Hold on, let me just take a slight detour here. Is it an insult, really, if your mama is actually fat? If I say your mama fat, your fat ass mama, is that an actual insult if you got a fat ass mama? It's really just a statement of fact. You shouldn't get mad about statements of fact. You shouldn't get mad about statements of fact. And that ain't even opinion. Like, you can look at certain people and you're like, yeah, he fat, or yeah, she fat. And if I say that person is fat, why is that an insult? If your mama's short, and I say your short ass mama, why are you offended? If your mama tall, and I say, that's why your daddy tall, why would you be offended by that? Why would you be offended? I don't understand. But my mama nipped that. My mama said, she said, what did he say? I said, he said you was fat. I was a little kid. He said you was fat. I don't know if I talked like that as a little kid. That sounded a little bit like Lincoln. But I was mad. I was heated. And my mama was like, boy, am I fat? And I was like, no. And she was like, so why would you let that bother you? Why would you let that bother you? And then she broke it down to me. Like, even if I was fat and he said I was fat, why would you let that bother you? Don't let people bother you by saying stuff about me. You know who I am. You know if it's true. You know if it ain't. If it's true, it's true. If it ain't, you know it ain't. Either way, why would you fight over somebody's words? I'm telling you, I was like, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Um, I dated a guy whose mama name was Shirley, and I said Shirley is the big girl's name. Big Shirley. Dude was highly upset with me, and you couldn't stop laughing. Uh, Let me see. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, so she says saying ends. And again, nobody pulls that out of you. Nobody makes you say that. You say that if that's what you feel. You say that if that's what you think. Oh, I was stressed out. My mama has passed on. My father has passed on. All of my grandparents have passed on. I lived my life like my regular life throughout that process. I answered phones at the radio station. When my grandmama died, when my mama died, when my daddy died, I was a call screener. I was a call screener. I'm not going to get too much into it, but I will tell you, people don't like to get their calls screened. So I got called all kind of names and all of that kind of stuff, right? I never called nobody a N or a B or a R word or any of those other words. Even dealing with and processing my grief while people hurled all kind of insults at me. It never happened because being sad or being stressed or being any of that kind of stuff doesn't make you say racist things. Being racist makes you say racist things. It might stress and all that stuff might make you say mean stuff. It might. I can see that. I'm frustrated. I'm dealing with a whole lot. And this person is saying this, and this person is getting on my nerves, and so on and so forth. Okay, maybe I'll lash out and say something maybe even a little mean to you, but not racist unless you're already racist. Unless you're already racist, that doesn't come out. So I really think Cincinnati Police Department. I was about to say that, but I had to stop myself. I was about to say they need to go through and evaluate the police force, and they already know. They already know they got a racist police force. Like there's no doubt or question about it. They already know. What do we do about it? I don't know. I don't know. Deal with it, I guess. Deal with it, I guess. I mean, what else is going to happen? What else can we do? But anyway, that's one of the stories. Oh, it's unlocked me out. Got to put in the password again. Hold on, maybe I'll try to. I'll move it over here. Try to put it on my lap. Um, for those of you who just tuned in, welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. Um, just talked a little bit about the racist officer. You know, I'm just gonna start calling it. I think it's a legitimate position to take when someone uses racist language to assume that they're racist. So we were talking about the racist Cincinnati police officer who was stressed out, so she called on a number of occasions, on at least two separate occasions, people saying N words. Saying N words. The Court of Appeals grants Kentucky's abortion ban. Yeah. So now virtually all abortions in Kentucky are illegal. Virtually all abortions in Kentucky are illegal. And again, I'm not pro-abortion, but I am pro-choice. I'm pro-life too, but I am pro-choice. And when you even just look at what the 10-year-old who was raped and had to go elsewhere to get an abortion, when you look at that, then I think no matter who, and I say this even though I know there are people who do different, I think no matter who you are, you gotta be like, look, if a 10-year-old gets raped and impregnated, that 10-year-old should not, or should have the option of not having that child. That 10-year-old should have the option of not having that child and, you know, living life as a 10-year-old. Scarred still, but still not a parent yet. But not a parent yet. So, and again, I'm not even necessarily saying, because it ain't my call, that I would advise that 10-year-old to get an abortion. It wouldn't be my call. It's not my call. But that option should be on the table. That option should be on the table. If the little girl is pregnant, by definition, she was raped. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. And there's a reason why I just black and white like that. There's a reason why I don't accept it. What if there is an exceptionally um, physically mature 10-year-old boy who can produce sperm? And that 10-year-old boy and that 10-year-old girl do stuff they ain't got no business doing at the age of 10, and they have a sexual encounter. We really saying that the 10-year-old boy raped the 10-year-old girl? I mean, yes, it's hypothetical and it's not necessarily reasonable, but when you just do black and white, that's why I try to not just do simple black and white. Like, oh, if a 10-year-old is ever pregnant, she was by definition raped. No, no. I don't necessarily agree with that. In probably the overwhelming majority of cases, yes, that's true. But I don't like the whole black and white thing because there's exceptions. There's exceptions to everything. A 10-year-old cannot give consent. So then they both raped each other. Two 10-year-olds have sex. Do we put them both in juvenile for rape? Because it's 2022. There's somewhere two 10-year-olds having sex. So are they raping each other? They both did it. Nobody said no. They both wanted to do it. Are they raping each other? I'm asking, honestly, I'm asking the question. 513-717-5464. 513-717-5464. Two 10-year-olds right now, you would say, if they're having sex, they're both raping each other and they should both go to jail for rape as juveniles. Because a 10-year-old cannot give consent. That's why I'm not with all of the black and white. Everything's not that black and white. Tria says, so it's cool for a 10-year-old to give birth and raise a baby. Yeah. Yeah. If that's the decision that they make, after, I guess, somebody else has probably made a decision for them. But if that 10-year-old uh, had been raped, found out they were pregnant, and then that 10-year-old and or parents decided, we are not aborting this baby. Are you, Tria, suggesting that's not okay? That somehow they were wrong for making that decision? It's not far-fetched. Child on child is a thing. However, consent is based on age. When this happens, it's often the parents who are held responsible. Um, Wait, so you are saying two 10-year-olds who decide to have sex, two 10-year-olds who decide to have sex, their parents should be charged with rape or something. Give me a call. See, that's why I say give me a call, because back and forth over text message or over message is a little difficult, because I got questions. I got questions. 513-717-5464. 513-717-5464. It is most certainly not cool for a 10-year-old to raise a baby. So maybe you're suggesting that if a 10-year-old does end up pregnant, that we force them to have an abortion. It's not cool for them to have have a baby and raise it. That would seem like like if they said, "No, mom, I want to have this baby," and the mama said, "Okay, you sure that's what you want to do? Oh, you 10? No, mom, I want to have this baby. I don't want no abortion." You saying mama should say, "No, we forcing you to have an abortion because you 10." Um, what about a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old? What about it? What about it? I mean, I know y'all like just asking these questions, but like these are legit. It's like when you lay down these solid black and white rules. A 10-year-old having sex is by definition rape. That means if you're saying it is by definition rape, and we're talking legal, by legal definition, that's rape. What are you saying for the other young person that has sex with them? I really don't know that we think about that all the time. I don't know that we think about that all the time. Uh, Jericho says, "I hate these conversations. It's up there with the man and horse story." These are just conversations that you, at least in my opinion, these are conversations that we have to begin to think about, which I know a lot of people don't want to do. But we have to begin to think about, what are we saying when we're making these blanket statements and these black and white statements about this and that? What are we actually saying? And people used to get mad at me, like, "Oh, you're always throwing in all these other scenarios." Those are the type of scenarios that make it to the Supreme Court. And if you've ever um, like looked at Supreme Court like reports and stuff about Supreme Court uh, hearings, I guess it's called. These are the questions that the Supreme Court justices actually ask on a regular basis, because they understand, like, we got to be careful when we make laws like any 10-year-old who has sex has been raped. They understand, wait a minute, there's a lot of other stuff that can go on, and we don't want to be that black and white. And so they actually ask these questions. These are the things that we charge them with grappling with on a regular basis. And we like, I don't want to talk about that. It's uncomfortable. It's the law, man. It's nuance. It's the law. It's nuance. Will said, "Yeah, this conversation is super weird. I'm cool." And I understand a lot of people don't get it. I understand a lot of people don't get it and don't want to discuss it because it is uncomfortable. But y'all do realize 10-year-olds have sex now, right? Like, this ain't some far fetched thing that people conjured up in their head. There are 10-year-olds who are actively having sex with other like 10-year-olds. It's actually happening in the world that we live in today. Parents shouldn't even be able to decide whether a 10-year-old has a child. That should be a definite exemption to any abortion law. The science is clear that birth at that age is extremely dangerous and almost certain to result in complications. The long ones have to complications / death. So you're saying 10-year-old gets pregnant, the state should mandate an abortion. Okay. Okay. Um, TC says, I feel like this. If we gonna get mad about the officers, I'm guessing that meant, using the N word, let's get mad when everybody use it or say it. Delete it altogether. I don't agree with that, TC. I don't agree with that. I really don't. I look, certain things I can say because I'm a black man and you're a black woman, um, presumably. You should be able to say it. Other people can't say. Well, that ain't fair. So, slavery wasn't fair. Discrimination ain't fair. And I'm down. Like, I am 100% down with the double standard. I can say it, you can't. Period. We ain't got to get rid of it. We ain't got to get rid of it. But of course, that's my feeling on the matter. Other people, you know, feel like TC. Other people feel like it's, you know, should be out of there. Tria says, no, it's not far fetched, but in my world, I don't know of any. So, all right. And there's a really good chance you wouldn't know. It's been my experience as a very young person trying to get some. I wasn't successful. But as a very young person trying to get some, if I would have got some, I wasn't going to come home and say, Mama, I just got some. The reason, maybe, why you don't know of any is because they're not telling you. He's not going to tell you. Samuel says, this conversation hurts my stomach or makes my stomach hurt. What part of the conversation makes your stomach hurt? What 10-year-old you know is having sex? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know a whole lot of 10-year-olds, but I know that 10-year-olds are having sex. You typically don't find out about it when they're 10. You find out about it later. Because again, they don't come home and say, how was your day? Oh, I just had sex. Oh, great. But if the suggestion is there are no 10-year-olds who are having sex, just go ahead and bury your head all the way in the sand. Kamikia says, I'm saying that every pediatrician would strongly recommend an abortion. It borders on child abuse otherwise. Okay, that's recommend. You still would have to say their body, their choice, right? Right? Their body, their choice, right? Show me a 10-year-old who is having sex and I can bet they have inattentive parents. Maybe, but that don't mean it ain't happening. But that don't mean it ain't happening. Um, Samuel's agreeing with Jericho. He said I have a 10-year-old and her biggest concern is not having enough Robux. That might be a thing, I don't know. And chips. All right. Well, good for you. Congratulations. See, here's what this is what I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. Y'all pretending because TC says a 10-year-old shouldn't even have sex on the brain. Well, a whole 10-year-old shouldn't have a whole lot of things on their brain that they currently have on their brain. But it's happening. It's out there. It's happening. And again, y'all can bury y'all heads in the sand and pretend that it's not happening. But some of these are the same people who are, I saw a video. I don't know how old this video is because it could have been old. But the mother was sitting there smoking weed, and the toddler couldn't have been no more than 3, was sitting there looking at her. And so she takes the toddler's face and blows the smoke into the toddler's mouth. The toddler hold the mouth open. And the toddler is sitting there. We got parents who are doing this, type of stuff. These are the parents that are raising these kids. Now, a toddler with a parent who has no problem, not even don't have a problem blowing the weed into the mouth of a toddler, but the parent don't have a problem recording it and putting it out on TikTok. That means they didn't see anything wrong with it on any level. And when I see stuff like that, I'm like, what other stuff are they doing? And what other bad habits are they teaching? What other stuff are these children experiencing that they should not be experiencing? I don't know that it would be a far stretch to look at that child and say, okay, maybe it's possible. About an age of 10, that kid could be sexually active. Show me a 10-year-old who's having sex. I bet the parents are immature and neglectful. That don't mean that the 10-year-old ain't doing. Okay, the parents are immature and neglectful. If that makes you feel good. Okay, the parents are neglectful and immature. What that got to do with the 10-year-old? With y'all taking away their choices. Or trying to put them in jail for rape. I remember seeing that, the parent smoking with the toddler. It was sad as hell to see. The ratchetry is real. I'm sure I botched that. But yeah, okay. So you got bad parents. You got bad parents. So all these little kids should be in jail for rape, is what y'all saying? Come on, y'all. We got to have some sort of feelings and compassion for the kids. Mary, this is a long one. I do assessments all day at work, and I asked the question, how old were you when you had your first sexual encounter? Any sexual experience, any sexual abuse or molestation? I've been asking this question for the past 7 years, and if a person says below the age of 10, it has always been sexual molestation or assault with a family member, family friend, or stranger. My professional opinion, that is here in Cincinnati, now other places, especially other countries, possible 10-year-old children are having sex. It is sad. It is sad. Someone says they knew a 14-year-old female student got pregnant by a 15-year-old male student. Sad, but true. And according to some of y'all, they should both be in jail for rape because neither of them are technically the age of consent. But in Ohio, this is the last time I read, and this was well over a decade ago, the law is weird. Like 16, I believe, was the age of consent. But then, there was like an age gap. Like if they're below that age and they're having sex with someone older that is, I think it was 3 years or less, then that can be consensual. That can be consensual. No one is saying that children should be in jail, but I can't call in, so I'm leaving it alone. Well, if you're saying that it is by definition rape, you kind of saying somebody should be in jail. Who said lock the kids up? So what would be the punishment for rape then, in your opinion? What should be the punishment for rape? I think jail. I think the punishment for rape should be going to jail. So if you're saying it is by definition rape, that means someone raped someone. The person who raped the person should face some consequences. She says, no one said that. I'm giving you the simple logic. This is simple logic. Okay, maybe I have to do it like really simple. What should be the punishment for rape? What should be the punishment for rape? And that's a loaded question to ask around here, because I'm talking to some people who believe if you're famous, you should be able to get away with it. If you're funny, then nothing. If the person wait too long, then there shouldn't be any punishment. If they was maybe dressed a certain way, then nothing should happen to them. Simple question. What should be the punishment for rape? Now, if you ask me, jail, at least. Jail. I cannot stand you. Why? All I'm using is, this is like simple logic. This ain't even complex stuff. This is simple logic. Brent says he replied to his original post that there should be a Romeo and Juliet exception for that scenario. So now we've grown. See, y'all see how these conversations help? Because initially it was, by definition, that's rape. And we know there should be a serious punishment for rape. And some probably 30 minutes later, now we're seeing, well, okay, maybe a child being raped by a child, some counseling or something like that. Or maybe we don't even refer to that as rape. Jerica says, my line is busy. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I put up the wrong, because my line is definitely not busy. Hold on. Let me hide that. Let me edit that. Let me change that. Because my line should definitely not be busy. Brent, I'll deal with that in a moment. I'll deal with that in a moment. But maybe we shouldn't call it rape. Maybe we shouldn't. There should be something else like underage sex. Underage consensual sex, even though I know the idea that an underage person can consent, but maybe with another underage person. But maybe we shouldn't necessarily call that rape and brand 10, 11, 12-year-olds as being rapists because they had consensual sex with someone their same age. Maybe. Just a thought. Just a thought. Maybe we should not brand them as rapists. Ben wants to know, did you and Wyatt bump heads in the dressing room, I guess. What happened to the king and I? I had announced it on the show, and I forgot to put a post. I was at a funeral yesterday, so Wyatt and I talked, and I could not do it. I could not do it. Can 10-year-olds be rapists? I think they can. I think they can. I think any age where you know what I'm saying, taking it, that's rape. But again, this conversation is predicated on the idea that was floated that any 10-year-old will have sex. By definition, that's rape. Because a 10-year-old can't consent. And there's a difference to me between a 10-year-old holding another 10-year-old down, doing horrible things, and two 10-year-olds sneaking away under the porch, experimenting. There's a difference. And I don't want to label the two experimenters rapists. I don't want to label them as rapists. All right. I know it's uncomfortable. Hold on. She says the line is busy. Let me call. Let me call and make sure that the line is not busy. I know I had the wrong number up there. All right. The line is not busy. The line is not busy. Even though something happened. But the line is not busy. Okay. That was an uncomfortable conversation. But believe it or not, I think uncomfortable conversations are conversations that we still need to be able to have. Uncomfortable conversations are conversations that we still need to be able to have. Phyllis says, I agree with you. A 10-year-old boy can be a rapist. So can a 10-year-old girl. So can a 10-year-old girl. Did they have ushers at the funeral? I'm not sure I understand the question. Hold on, got a call coming in. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. Hey, Jerika, how are you?
I'm doing well. Hope you are.
I am. It's good to hear from you.
Good to hear from you too. So let's jump in. So I don't know where you got from my comment or anyone else's comment that 10-year-olds who are engaged in sexual activity with another 10-year-old should go to jail. My comment.
Wait. Go ahead. Wait. Let me explain. You said you don't know where. The comment was made that a 10-year-old having sex by definition is rape.
I don't recall seeing anyone's comment that said that. No, because my comment, you initially spoke about a 10-year-old getting pregnant. Mm-hmm. And my response was, well, a 10-year-old can't give consent. So, of course, it sounds like you just ran with that from what I stated. But I wasn't necessarily implying that meant anyone that engaged with this child should go to jail and be labeled as a rapist as a blanket outcome. And I then came back and stated there are times where you have children who are experimenting with other children and they're at the same age. And as a previous CPS investigator, that was not uncommon. But those children didn't always go to jail. I mean, of course, sometimes they did, depending upon the age and the circumstances. But sometimes they were placed in counseling. They were removed from the home. The parents were often to blame. There have been times where parents have been charged with neglect because they weren't providing appropriate supervision and these behaviors were allowed to occur. So I don't think there's not a blanket outcome that or consequence that can come from these type of actions. So to say everyone believes this because this child can't give consent isn't a true statement. So,
but I clearly didn't say everyone believes it because I don't believe it. But
well, you said in the room. That's why you had to dumb it down for us that didn't understand what you were trying to convey. Because if we don't agree with you, we must be missing something.
Most of the times, that's the truth. But in this case, I was talking to the people who were arguing that any 10-year-old who has sex, that is by definition rape.
Okay. Maybe I missed the comments because sometimes they can scroll past pretty quickly.
And that was the point that I was making, is that that is kind of warped belief that even though they can't give consent, that doesn't necessarily mean I want to brand somebody at 10 as a rapist because they had, and I use the term consensual, even though I guess legally they can't give consent.
Correct. And that is the point that I was making when I sent my first message. But of course you went a different direction with it. But I get that. It's just Emanuel being Emanuel. But yes. So I guess, and then I also wanted to kind of piggyback on what I was saying, or to double back on what I was saying about the parents and them being to blame. And then you said, so parents are supposed to go to jail because the children are having sex? Am I correct in that?
Yeah, if you define it as rape, and there are 2 10, 2 11, 2 12, 2 13, 2 14-year-olds, if you're defining that as rape and you're holding the parents responsible, then what do you do to the parents? But I would say we cleared that up in that you don't necessarily view that as rape to young people deciding to have sexual relations with one another.
See, and that's the thing. I think you're trying to just make it. You're just trying to keep it in one box. I think every situation is different. Because I will give you an example. There was an investigation that I had done where it was a 10-year-old little girl, and her cousin actually was younger than her, but he had been permitted to watch porn with like his other little cousins. The mother was very neglectful. Supervision was not being provided. The little girl attempted to take out the garbage. He came outside, grabbed her, sexually assaulted her. He ended up having to be interviewed, by law enforcement, yada, yada, yada. He didn't go to jail. He was sent to like a camp or something like that. But he was labeled as a rapist, even though he was younger than her. So each situation is different. The mother ultimately did get charged with neglect. But and that's why that's why I wanted to call in, because it's not as cookie cutter as you're making it seem.
Actually, I think you must have misunderstood my comments, because clearly that was my point, that it is not as cookie cutter as it seems, and that all of these incidents have to be taken on a case-by-case basis. Because, I use the example, if a 10-year-old holds down a 10-year-old and takes sex from them, that's rape. But if 2 10-year-olds decide to experiment with one another, it's not necessarily rape.
So we're saying the same thing. Exactly. So we're saying the same thing, but because I'm not conveying it as you are, then I must be missing something?
No, you misunderstood what I said. Okay. That's all I'm saying. Why you
so it's not you misunderstanding what I'm saying. It's me misunderstanding what you're saying, because I'm not saying it the way that you're saying it.
No, it's correct? It's you misunderstanding what I said, because you're the one that, correct me if I'm wrong. You just finished saying it's not as cookie cutter as you're making it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm clearly not saying that it's cookie cutter. I'm saying that every situation is different, which is why you can't make it so black and white. So you misunderstood that to believe that I was saying treat them all the same.
No, I'm not misunderstanding you. You are saying, I hear what you're saying, but what you were trying to imply is that everyone else, except for you, of course, everyone else is trying to make it sound like a 10-year-old, 2 10-year-olds, 2 11-year-olds, 2 12-year-olds, 2 13-year-olds, however old. When they're the same age, if that occurs, then someone must erase the other one because consent cannot be given. That's what you said, that other people viewed it as. And I'm just saying it's okay.
Because
you go ahead.
There were some other people who did say that. They viewed it that way. But see, I guess you missed the comments where the people were saying that. So you think I'm just going off on something. I'm responding to what people are saying. Now, again, if you're not one of those, see, you were arguing something that you didn't see. And so you didn't understand what I was saying because you didn't have the context of what it was that I was, the question that, the comment that I was responding to. So it's all good. It's all good. Jerica.
I really cannot stand you.
Jerica,
yes, I'm listening.
You are brilliant. You are brilliant.
Oh, no, I don't doubt that.
I'm not just the only one that's brilliant. You're brilliant, too.
Good day, Emanuel. Take care of yourself.
All right, Jerica.
And can we move on to a different topic?
Yeah, I was.
When you get done. I'm sorry.
No, I was trying to move on to a different topic. I was.
Okay, so let me hang up and let you be.
All right.
All right, good. Have a good one.
That's Jerica. Just giving me a hard time just because. Jerica giving me a hard time just because. But yes. Yeah, there was some lack of understanding there on what I was saying and what I was referring to. And let me see. That all came from the Court of Appeals in Kentucky. Basically taking away all abortions. Basically taking away all abortions. I mean, I'm sure there's a few things that are carved out exceptions. I don't believe you should take that option away. And again, I don't believe in abortion. I don't. If you leave it up to me, I would counsel just about everybody, had a baby. Had a baby. Give life a chance. But if they say I don't want the baby, well, it's your decision. Do what you feel in your heart. I don't have to answer for your decisions. There may not even be any decision to answer for. Maybe not. SORTA and CPS, they have decided, hey, we can work together again. We can work together again. I don't believe, based on the way that I read it, I don't believe that there are going to be special routes for the kids. Like, when I was coming up, I went to Schwab, lived down here on Vine Street. A bus would come, and a bus would pick us up, take us directly to Schwab, let us out. When I got out of Schwab, at the bottom of that hill, there would be a line of buses waiting. You would get on the bus that went to your neighborhood, and they would stop at the stops and let you off where you were supposed to be let off. I don't think that's happening now. Based on the way that I read it, that's not the way things are going to go. I think that might be a thing of the past. That might be a thing of the past for high school students. But they are going to get bus passes. They're going to get bus passes. So they're going to be able to ride the bus, get up. They're going to get a bus schedule, or they should look up a bus schedule, and they will be able to go to a bus stop, catch a bus, maybe transfer, get to school. After school, go to a bus stop, catch a bus, maybe transfer, and get home. That's what they're committing to. And I know, was it last year or year before last? I think it was last year. Everybody was up in arms about it. I didn't see a problem with it. Look, I agree. There were some issues at the bus stops. I heard from some bus drivers that there were issues on the bus, kind of commingling the kids going to school with, just your regular bus riders. So some people had issues having to ride the bus with our children. And we were some of them people who had issues with having to ride the bus with our children. But I never had a problem with that. Now, at the end of the year, SORTA ended their contract. They basically said, we ain't effing with y'all no more, CPS. We not doing it. Well, they've come back to the table and they've said, okay, we're F with y'all again. We're F with y'all again. Everything is good. And I wonder, are we still of the mind that it's wrong, bad, terrible, horrible that our young people don't get these direct buses straight to the school and then straight home? And I'll tell you, I always felt like there was some lack of accountability on the part of the parents who didn't want this. Now, I get if you look, convenience is convenience. I'm all for convenience. If when they wanted to send a bus to pick me up, drop me off exactly where I had to go, and then pick me up where I was, and then drop me off back at home, I'll take that. I'll take that. But I don't think it's a huge offense to say, y'all can ride the bus for free. Well, free to them. Y'all can ride the bus for free. Y'all just have to go to a bus stop and catch a regular bus. And the parents who are saying, oh no, that's horrible, that's the worst thing ever, oh, my kids shouldn't have to go to a bus stop, I feel like that's saying I don't want to teach my child the simple responsibility of being able to go catch a bus, of being able to find a bus schedule and figure out what time to catch the bus, figure out what stop to get off at to make it to school. Stay woke through the whole bus ride. You know what I'm saying? There's a level of accountability for the children. And if the parents are against their children having some level of accountability, I don't know that says much for the parents. I don't know that says much for the parents. When I was seventh grade, before I started the seventh grade, the summer before I started the seventh grade, so right out of the sixth grade, I had a job at Schwab Middle School. What's it, middle school? Now, it had just transitioned from Schwab Junior High to Schwab Middle School. And I had to get up. I lived on Vine Street. I had to walk up, what is the name of that dark street? Super dark street, to get up to Ludlow and catch the bus down Hamilton and up to Schwab. And it would be dark. But I did it. And this was just out the sixth grade. Then once school started, I was supposed to be there early for my job. So I couldn't even wait around to catch the regular route. I had to leave early and walk up to the bus stop to catch the bus to get to school early. I was irresponsible and I lost that job. Yes, Glen Mary. Thank you, Rick. I had to walk up Glen Mary, what felt like it was a haunted street because it wasn't. I had not enough, hardly any street lights. And again, I was just out of the sixth grade, and I am only 5'5" now. So I'm sure I look like a third grader walking to school. Up that dark street. But it was something that I had to do. And my mama was like, if you want that job, you would do it. My mama wasn't getting up taking nobody to school. It just wasn't happening. So I learned from that, this is how you catch the bus. It's how you catch the bus. When I lived in Gulf Manor, I got a special transfer to go to Aiken because it was my senior year. I didn't want to switch and go to Woodward. Who wants to go to Woodward? I didn't want to switch and go to Woodward for my senior year. So I had to walk. We lived up in, I don't remember the name of the place. But I had to walk a good ways down, basically to the Cincinnati Gardens, catch the bus downtown, transfer at Government Square, catch the bus back up to Aiken. Felt like it took forever. But I was old enough to do that. I don't understand why it became a huge deal. I don't know why it became a huge deal. Show them where to catch the bus. Take them if you have to. Maybe walk with them once. Okay, maybe you ain't gonna do that. I get that. You sleeping, you tired. But there's kids in other cities that don't get, like, they got to catch the subway. They legit had to go catch the subway to school. And we worried because it ain't a stop almost directly in front of our house. Your kids is grown up. This ain't the yellow bus no more where they stopping at everybody's house to pick up the kid and take them to school. They in high school. High school kids should be able to catch the bus. Renita says, although my kids were in the suburbs, I gave them $2, dropped them off at Clifton/Ludlow to catch the 51 over my mom's in Avondale so they can learn and get experience with riding public transportation with strangers and rope pulling to request a stop. Yeah. Some parents don't allow their kids to exercise their common sense. Watch your mountain, E. I'm going to assume you meant mouth. Don't you know bulldogs bite? Nobody worry about no bitch ass bulldog. Mouth. You spelled that wrong. M-A-U-F. Mouth. When me and my cousins were about 9 or 10, we would ride the bus with a transfer to the mall and back. 25 cents each way, 50 cents for 2 video games at Aladdin's Castle. All right, Emanuel, do not badmouth Woodward. Nobody care about no Woodward. Right, the subway and a city bus. Yep. Chris says, I caught 2 buses to school and my daughter knew how to catch the metro. Figure it out. I don't hold high school age kids' hands. Nat says, good afternoon. Hey, you better swoop on with the, he just called me a hoe? What? Mouth, just like throat. See, you spelled both of them wrong. You went to Woodward. You can't spell. M-A-U-F and T-H-O-K-E. Mouth and thoke. Come on. I can't believe I still got to teach Woodward people how to spell. Let me see. When I was in school, we didn't have to worry about getting shot at the bus stop. Come on. Okay, so if the bus stopped, if they had those special routes, you would still have to worry about getting shot at the bus stop. Because there was a whole lot of us piled around that bus. I remember when I went to Aiken from Mount Airy. It was a whole lot of us piled around that bus stop. Fights broke out, the whole 9. So if it was 2022, we would have had to worry about getting shot even at the special school route bus stop. So what's the difference? The hound dogs. Samuel says, I agree. I'm going to use the free Metro weekend to show my girls how it's done. And that's being responsible as a parent. That's taking some accountability. That's saying y'all got to catch this bus, and y'all should know how to do it. I mean, I don't remember my first time riding a bus. I don't remember my first time riding a bus, but I remember being little, and my parents always had cars, so I can't tell you why I rode the bus as a little. Probably my sister, probably my oldest sister, taking us downtown for something or another, and riding the bus, and pulling the rope, or at some point pushing the little yellow strip for the bus stop, and all of that kind of stuff. It was all really uncomfortable. It seemed like a hassle, but you know, we figured it out. And sometimes that's what you have to do as a parent. You see what's coming. Okay, there ain't gonna be no special route right across the street from the house. You're gonna have to go to a bus stop. So, like Samuel said, all right, one of these weekends, well, because people ain't got no money to ride the bus, they do free weekends sometimes. Again, I don't ride the bus, so I don't want to deal with those people. But they do free weekend. Get up, say to your kids, let me show y'all. Here's where your bus stop gonna be. And again, we talking about high school kids. You're not talking about a 6-year-old. We're talking about high school kids. This is where your bus stop is gonna be. Let's get on the bus. So I show you how to do it. Maybe even just do that route. You map it out. This is where it's most practical for my child to take the bus, to get on. And this is where my child needs to get off. And you take that bus so that they see, okay, this is how to do it. If you got 5 kids, take all 5 of them. This is how you do it. So that by the first day of school, they doing it. See, my parents drove me to school back and forth every day from kindergarten to 12th grade. I wanted to ride the bus, didn't know how good I had it. Yeah, you had it good. You had it good. I didn't even go to Woodward, but man, the disrespect. Yeah, the disrespect those daggone people from Woodward, our exhibitor. Hey, don't talk about the Bulldogs. I just said I didn't want to go. Who want to go there? What reasonable person in their right mind with the option to go somewhere else would choose to go there? I get it. You lived in the area. You kind of had to go. So you proud of where you ended up. I get it. I understand. I understand. I'm from LC. We walk to school and have fun to and back. All right. Somebody trying to sell me some stuff. Crystal says we had no choice. Tria says her grandkids have never been on the metro. How old are they? How old are they? What people, E-Man? Why won't you ride the bus? You know them people. Brother, you gotta come out now. Those people. You gotta come out now. Do you know me? No, I don't know you. You got a quarter? No, I don't have a quarter. All right, thank you, brother. All right. Do you know me? No, I just saw you 10 minutes ago. I didn't know you then. I don't know you now. You got a quarter? I'm on the bus. Where would I magically? I'm not David Copperfield. You know what I'm saying? I don't. No, I don't have a quarter. All right, brother. Thank you. I don't. No, I don't want to ride the bus with them. But I think it's an experience that our children need to experience. It's an experience that our children need to experience. Who are those people? Our kids need to experience that. Uh, um, uh, you, by your own admission, weren't cool enough to be a dog. No, I was not cool enough to be a dog. I was too smart. Um, uh, that voice sounds like homeless dude from the Claymation show, The PJs. There was a dude that would ask me that on a regular basis. That's what every time he would see me. Those were his lines. Hey, brother, do you know me? No. All right, you got a quota? No. All right, thank you, bro. Every time he would ask me that. Um, yeah, I'm not a snob. I just am not going to do it. Every time I ride the bus, it's some drama. It's some drama. I can't take all that drama on the bus. It don't be like harmful drama. It just be distracting drama. Distracting drama. It's always something. Somebody want to sit too close. Somebody want, But our kids need to experience that. Motivate them to get their own car. Oh, where's your voting sticker? Okay, let me deal with this sticker thing real quick. This is super quick. When you go to vote, and they have the little "I voted" sticker. I don't take the sticker just because I don't want the sticker. What I'm gonna do with the sticker? Just walk around with an "I voted" sticker on. And I get it. It might remind somebody to vote. I get it, but it might not. I just don't want the sticker, so I don't take the sticker. And I've literally almost been chased out of the voting. Here, just take the sticker. But just take it. You don't got to put it on. No, I don't want it. Just take the sticker. No, thank you, but I don't want the sticker. You can just take it. Here, just take it. Give it to your kids. I don't want to give it to nobody. I don't want the sticker. Just take it. Just take it. You mean you can throw it out when you get out? Then why take it? I don't want the sticker. Just take the sticker. Just take the. No. No. That's not me being contrarian or any of that kind of stuff. I just don't want the sticker. This is how simple that should be. All right, sir. Here's your sticker. No, thank you. All right, have a good day. That's how simple it should be. Trying to bully me. So yeah, I don't take the sticker. It's not me being anti anything except for I don't want a daggone sticker. That's it. That's it. Um, did he ask you for a quarter or a quarter or a quota? You got a quota. That's what he said every time. It's crazy people for me, and the fact that I can't leave if I want to. Yeah, I can't. I don't be. Every once in a blue moon, I when I'm thinking about it, I really can't. I can probably count on one hand in the past 10 years the number of times I've taken the bus. That's and it's probably less than that. See, I could count it on one hand. Probably three, maybe four. And that's in the past 10 years. I got a car. So I got a car. Now, look, I'll be honest. If we had like some sort of a decent rail system, if we had some sort of a decent rail system, I would have been taking the bus for years. Because for years I lived in Fairfield and or Hamilton. Or I guess I should say I would have been taking the rail public transportation. Because I would have loved to be able to park somewhere and then catch a train downtown, get off, and go to the job after work, go get on the train, go back to wherever it was I parked, and drive home. I would have loved that. As it stands right now, last time that I had a traditional job, I lived by the expressway. I could get to work in 6 minutes. 6 minutes. There was no reason for me to catch the bus. I caught the bus once. We had an ice storm. And look, I don't know why it was better being on the bus in an ice storm than in my car in an ice storm. Really, I know why. My car, the ice was too thick, and I had to get to work, and I didn't wake up in time to ship up all the ice and get it off the driveway. And so I just slid on down to the bus stop, literally slid down to the bus stop. Y'all remember that last ice storm? Street was a sheet of ice and all of that kind of stuff. I slid on down to the bus stop. I hopped on the bus. There wasn't a whole lot of interesting people on the bus. And I slid on over to the job. But other than that, I got a car. I got a car. Guess what? If in the middle of the day I want to go do something or go get something, I just go walk to my car, go get it, and come back. I'm not locked into anything. I like the freedom of having my own car. Um, take the sticker. Uh, it really is being contrary. It's not. I don't want the sticker. There's nothing about it contrary. I don't want it. So I don't just no thank you. What if they offered you a Slim Jim? A Slim Jim and the packaging says I voted. I don't want no Slim Jim. I'm a vegan. No thank you. Are you just being contrary because you don't want Slim Jim? It's just an object that I don't want. So I say no thank you. I don't make a big deal about it. Why are they making a big deal about it? Nobody should make a big deal about it. It's not even an issue. Is it in no way, shape, or form is it or should it ever be an issue? If you don't want the sticker, you say no thank you. They say have a great day, and you go about your business. Oh my God. What is wrong with y'all? I haven't rode the metro since 2004. Myosha, who's from Chicago, and the rich part of Chicago at that. She says Cincinnati really needs to get out of the dark ages and get some kind of rail system. They really do. They really do. It would be it would be great. It would be great. Even though I don't know that I want to hear that from some rich Chicagoite. Um, I hated the bus and having to ride on the bus, but I still didn't get a car or my license till I was good and grown. I couldn't imagine taking the bus with COVID and monkeypox out here. I rode the express from Fairfield or Westchester when I lived outside the 275 loop. All right. Prince Silly, Gotham City got light rail. Uh, Will says, this is where I switch sides on y'all and pull my millennial card. I'm taking a lift. I'm too bougie for the bus. I'm not paying for a lift uh, to do. I like that's, to me that's different. To me, and I know other people. I know other people who did it, who've taken lift. Like there was a guy that worked at the radio station who would take a lift to and from like almost every day. I'm like, bro, you got to be spending your whole check just to get to and from work. Like how you paying your rent, how you eating, and you on a bus line. Just get up and catch the bus. You got to take a lift. And every once in a while, he might be a little short cash. Can you cash at me? Like, what for? I got to get this lift in. And I didn't say in. And if you don't go catch the bus, now I'm not giving you no money so somebody can lift you home. The bus is still running. You live on a bus line. But yeah, that's y'all millennials will do that. Y'all millennials will do that. Nobody asked you for a quote. Yes, he did. That's dedication. They lost a good one because I'm calling off. Uh, y'all millennials, facts. Please catch that bus. I'm not paying for no lift. Hold on, where are we at? Where's the lady with the told electric wheelchair? Uh, a rich Chicagoite. Yes, yes. I'm not from the rich part of Chicago, but I will admit my parents didn't let us use public transportation growing up. That's some rich people stuff. That's a look, y'all ain't gotta believe me when I tell y'all that there's certain people is rich. Just pay attention to the stuff that they talk about from their childhood. If your daddy had two riding lawnmowers, one for the front yard and one for the backyard, he was rich. And he had push mowers. You know what I'm saying? He was rich. If your parents would not allow you to take public transportation, if you took archery in high school, you was rich. Do you believe? Hold on, for all y'all, even those of y'all who went to Woodward, all y'all who went to a public high school, can y'all imagine them giving us bows and arrows? Can y'all imagine that at Aiken? Them talking about, well, here's some arrows and here's some bows. Just shoot them at that target. Please. Wasn't happening. Look, if you're rich, just own it. Own it. You got a shaga? I don't know what that means. What did I say? What did I say? Um, Keisha says, I take Ubers and Lyft. You for what? Now look, it's different if you know, like I went to an airport when I was in somewhere in Florida. I don't even remember where, and we took a Uber to the hotel. No biggie. We took an Uber back to the airport. No biggie. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. But if you own a bus line and all you got to do is go catch the bus and get there, and it's like when normal people commute, just get your A up and get on the bus. If you don't have transportation, you spending more money on Uber and Lyft. No, if where I'm going is on the bus line, I would take a Metro before paying for a Lyft or an Uber. Exactly. Exactly. Um, Let me borrow the moped. I don't want to talk about the moped. You better not slander my dead daddy. I'm not slandering. Didn't we have this conversation earlier? If it's true, it's not slander. How many riding mowers did your daddy have? I don't want to hear nothing else from you until you answer that question. How many riding mowers did your daddy have? Um, they are not giving inner city black kids bows and arrows. Right, right. Uh, Angela says, I took archery, golf, and bowling in both high school and college. Where'd you go to high school? Where did you go to high school? Raven says Uber is racist. Take Lyft instead. Um, Lift some weights. You get broad shoulders. Trash the shoulder pads. It's just a jacket. This is the way it came. I'm not going in there ripping nothing out. I don't feel nothing in there. It's just a jacket. It's just a jacket. It's the way it's made. Um, let me see. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What happened to nothing happened to the moped? I've just been so caught up with other stuff that I haven't had a chance to deal with the moped yet. Nothing happened to it. Nothing. Finally, a comment I can relate to. I took archery and bowling in college. Okay, that's in college. That's in college. Black folk used to take all the sports. You still didn't tell me where you went to high school. My daddy only had two riding mowers because he saw a second one that he liked more than his first one. So the answer is two. So how did I slander your daddy by saying he had two riding mowers when you clearly just said he had two riding mowers? It's not slander if it's true. It's not slander if it's true. Yo, daddy had two riding mowers. That's some rich end stuff right there. Oh, and he was not a landscaper. He just had two personal riding mowers. Um, Keisha says Uber is cheaper. I'm guessing you mean than Lyft. Uh, I used to be mad when I had to catch the bus from Kings Island when I was a teen. All right. Tree update. I don't want to talk about the tree. I don't want to talk about the tree situation. Super duper quick. Super duper quick. There's another tree that snapped under the weight of those trees that was already there. Now I was supposed to rent the lift on Saturday, but I ran into an issue. I ran into an issue uh, with it, so I'll have to do it either one day this week or this weekend, depending on whether it's supposed to be raining. So I didn't get a chance to get up there. It's going to be a simple fix. I'm not worried about it, and I hope no other trees break under the weight of the two trees that are laying on multiple trees. So I guess technically I got 5 trees now that I got to cut down. Yeah, but that's it. That's it. I don't want to talk about it. I just want to rent the piece and do what I got to do. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Hold on. I got something else. I'm still waiting. Angela Kinney, you was the one who said you took archery and all of that stuff. I went to Green Hills, but my father was born in the 30s and did these things. You went to Green Hills when it was actually Green Hills. That was relatively well to do and was definitely not in the Cincinnati public schools in the black neighborhoods. Where the hell you live? In the forest? Well, no, I live on a street. My neighbor got some trees, and then behind me, it's not forest, but it is a kind of a wooded area. My house backs up to a wooded area. So yeah, there's a whole lot of trees around here surrounding the yard. But my neighbor, I guess the property line where my property line is, the neighbor didn't cut, a good portion of trees between my property and his property, uh, theoretically for privacy's sake, way back in the day. And they're mature trees now, so stuff happens. All right, let me see. I got a couple other things that I wanted to discuss. Y'all keep getting me off on nonsense. Stop distracting me. Stop distracting me with nonsense. Um, Let me distract y'all with the nonsense. Um, Whoopi Goldberg and Sonny Hostin. I'm gonna say Hostin. It might be Hostin, but who really cares? They kind of got into a little argument, and I was paying attention to what they were talking about, and I want y'all take on this. In particular, the women. In particular, the women. Hold on, let me see if I can. Oh, come on, slow internet. This guy put out this post. I'm sure a lot of y'all seen it. Again, I was out of everything yesterday. He put up this post celebrating his fiance. But the way he did it, the way he started the post was, and I want to, I'm going to read the post. I don't want to read the whole thing. Let me just read the beginning. Not the most beautiful woman, neither are you the most intelligent woman, but I've chosen never to find perfection in anyone. It may not sound like a compliment, but it's a realistic base for love. This dude was talking about how much he loved his fiance, talking about how much he loved his fiance. And he started off the post by saying, basically, she's not the most beautiful woman. Neither is she the most intelligent woman. And Whoopi says, that's good. That's nice. That's romantic even. That's good. That's nice. That's romantic. Because he's being honest. He went on to talk about how he don't love her for her looks or for her. He loved her for everything that is her. Just everything. Everything that makes up who she is. That's why he loved her. She's not the most beautiful. She's not the most intelligent. But she is who she is. Now, Sonny says, nah, that's some BS. Hold on. I'll read the entire thing, all right? And I want to hear y'all reaction. Sonny says, lie to me. Don't tell me I'm not the most beautiful or I'm not the most intelligent. Lie to me. Whoopi says, just be honest. And I can appreciate that you can acknowledge I might not be the most beautiful. I might not be the most intelligent. I might not be the most anything. But everything that I am is what you love. Where do y'all stand, women? Let me read this. Let me read this. You're not the most beautiful woman. Neither are you the most intelligent woman. But I've chose to never find perfection in anyone else. I put my gaze on you, and with that commitment, we would mold ourselves for ourselves. Our perfection is in our commitment. Stating that you're not the most beautiful, intelligent might sound like it's not a compliment. Yeah, but it's realistic base for love. Acknowledging that my woman isn't the best, but I'm not looking for the best. I was looking for you, and I found you. There's no best. There's just someone you choose, and you see the best in them. This to me is the real love, not the one that consoles itself in the full reality that their partner is the most good looking, most intelligent, most successful person in the world. That's disingenuous and doesn't give you room for love to thrive. My love for you isn't about you being the best, it's about you being you. There's just no other you. I love you. I'm committed to you. Uh, and I guess she's not there with him. He says, I love you so much, but my love for you is stronger than distance. Uh, 513 717 5464. Ladies, are you on Whoopi's team? Like, that's beautiful because he's not trying to put me in that box of being the most anything. He just loves me. Or are you team Sonny and you like, no, Ian, lie to me. I I don't want you to hear I don't want to hear you telling me I'm not the most beautiful or I'm not the most this. Lie to me. Which, ladies, what do you want? What would you prefer from your man? From your fiance? What would you prefer? What would you prefer? Janice says he was dead wrong. He should have said, I love you because of who you are, period. All the other stuff is insulting. It did not need to be said. But if that's how he feels, I don't. Okay, let me ask this: is it wrong? I don't know how I want to ask it because, okay, is it a bad thing to get with a woman that you don't think is the most beautiful woman on the planet? I mean, I think, don't we acknowledge that that happens? Everybody don't think that the woman that they with is the most beautiful woman on the planet, right? Right? Right. So what's wrong with saying it? And maybe she ain't that bright. Maybe she ain't that bright. And he cool with it. Everybody can't be the most intelligent woman on the planet, right? Everybody can't be the most intelligent woman. Why you gotta lie? Why you gotta lie to somebody who probably not that bright anyway and telling you the most intelligent woman I've ever known? Stop. That man was pouring out his heart. He was pouring out his love. Oh, now I'm not gonna lie. Look, I'm not gonna lie. Uh, I I might understand the you're not the most beautiful woman in the world. Okay, I might can understand that. If somebody asked you, if somebody asked you, like, am I the most beautiful woman in the world? And you like, I wouldn't say you're the most beautiful woman in the world, but you are really beautiful. You know what I'm saying? If someone asks that question, I don't know. I don't know how you go to. Uh, you might not be the most intelligent. I'm not gonna lie. In my mind, because uh, somebody wants to know. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name. Is it Beshka? Beshka wants to know would I say that to Mrs. Livingston? Um, no, because I think she's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. And I'm not just saying that because I'm here or because I have to. I really do. So no, I wouldn't say that. But to say, uh, you're not the most intelligent woman, that do kind of sound like she dumb. That kind of sound like she dumb. And I'm looking at what I'm guessing there's a picture of them. She's a really pretty girl. Like she's a really pretty girl. Maybe she ain't that. Do you want to be lied to? Now I think I'm with you, Janice. How about you just don't say none of that? Like if you don't think that she's the most beautiful woman, then don't say. Just say you're beautiful because you think she's beautiful. Or if you don't think she's beautiful, just say you're pretty because you think she's pretty. It's a difference in my mind. If you don't think she's pretty, don't comment on her look. Like, just keep that to yourself. I would never lie to Mrs. Livingston. I would never lie. Y'all don't understand. I pride myself on being honest. I don't know why it's as important to me as it is, but I pride myself on being honest. I would never lie to Mrs. Livingston. If there was something about her that I ain't like or something like that, or I didn't think was the most whatever, I just would never say that. You're the most beautiful woman in the world if I didn't think it. I just wouldn't say it. I would just say the positive thing that I think. You're beautiful. That's good enough. And if you ask me, am I the most beautiful woman in the world? And I don't think so, I might just still not answer that question. I might say something like, I don't even compare you to other women. Like, why would I compare you to anybody else? You're beautiful. That's all that's important. I don't know. But Sonny says lie to me. Sonny says lie. Um, hold on, let me see. She says, I worry about this guy. I hate him, but I worry about this guy for this woman. I wouldn't marry him after saying that. When they get older, what's he gonna do? Oh, babe, you look a little fat today. Oh, babe, that was really stupid that you said that. I don't like that. Your partner should lie to you. I don't want nobody to lie to me. I don't want nobody to lie to me. I'm cool with if you don't say it. Don't say it if you don't mean it, but don't lie. There's a middle ground. I'm 100% with you on this one, Janice. I ain't got to spank you today. I'm 100% with you on this one, Janice. You should say you're the most beautiful woman to me, because she may not be the most beautiful to someone else. Um, no, if I didn't think she was the most beautiful woman, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I would just say you're beautiful. I would just say you're beautiful. But I don't want nobody to lie to me. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me about nothing. Don't lie to me about nothing. I wouldn't like that at all. Wouldn't like that at all. Babe, you look just like the girl from Friday who looked like Janet. Um, all right, real quick. I got to speed this up. So are they still together after that? Yeah, they still together. They're engaged. They gonna get married. I'm sure she understood his heart. You know what I'm saying? Like some people say certain stuff a certain way. On the outside, looking in, you might be like, oh, that was this, or oh, that was that. But on the inside, you know him. You engaged to him. So you know him. You know his heart. You know his heart. And I bet his friends know as well. You know, maybe her friends might look at it and be like, oh, that was, but I'm certain him and his friends and her, they all understand his heart. It really does though seem a little harsh. But yeah, I'm not, don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. But just don't speak on it. You know what I'm saying? Don't speak on it. That's it. I wouldn't publicly say that about my fiance. All right. Okay. Yeah, they good. They good. They good. Um. All right. I saw the apology video from Will Smith and Chris Rock. Well, uh, Chris Rock. I'm sorry. I looked at a comment that was on the screen. Chris Rock. He say everybody want to be a victim. He say everybody want to be a victim. Um, and he ain't will. He's not ready to speak to Will Smith, despite his recent apology. Said he has no plans to. A source says he has no plans to reach out. Um, they say Chris Rock. Chris Rock believes that Will's apology was more for Will's best interest. That he needs the public's forgiveness and not Chris's forgiveness. Um, but now, y'all know I'm not a fan of Will Smith. Period. I'm not a fan of Will Smith. Period. And I got a question. Why are people pressuring Chris Rock to even address this or to ever forgive or talk to Will Smith. There's something to be in. Look, you're a grown man. You're a grown man. You made a decision. I'm a grown man. We just don't have to be cool. I'm comfortable with us not being cool, with us not talking. We not best friends. It's not like we always around each other. Why do I have to reach out to you? Why do I have to accept or reject your apology? It's out there. You put it out there. Cool. I don't have to accept it. I don't have to reject it. I don't care about it. We not friends no more. You slapped the shit out of me. You are not my friend. Like, I don't understand why people are pressuring Chris Rock to say, Will, I forgive you, or F Will, or whatever. I'm kind of with Chris Rock on this one. Like, I don't need to talk to him. I don't need to talk to him. What we got to say? You slapped me? I forgive you. My understanding was forgiveness is for me. So if I forgive you, you don't need to know. Because it's for me anyway. Look, I'm just telling y'all, if somebody walk up and slap the fire out of me and I don't respond, and then they like, oh, I want to apologize, I'm ignoring them. You slap the fire out of me. I got nothing to say to you. We not family. It'd be different if we was family. Like if it's my brother, we got to talk. But you just some random dude. And he talked about, Will Smith talked about Tony Rock, how him and Tony Rock was cool, and he feels like that relationship is irreparably damaged. It should be. I watched you slap the F out of my brother. What we got to talk about? Like, I might not hate you, but we ain't going to be kicking it. We ain't going to be kicking it. So I'm with Chris Rock. And again, not the biggest fan of Chris Rock either. Just from the sense that I don't really think he's funny. But I'm kind of team Chris Rock on this one. He ain't necessarily attacking. He did call him Suge Smith. Oh, he did call him Suge Smith. But yeah. He says, and this is what he told people, everybody is trying to be an effing victim. If everybody claims to be a victim, then nobody will hear the real victims. Even me, getting smacked by Suge Smith. I went to work the next day. I got kids. Anyone who says words hurt have never been punched in the face. So he said, I'm not on it. All of that good stuff. And I think I'm with Chris Rock on this one. There's nothing. And I guess I could see some people saying, look, two black men, we need to be able to show younger black men that you can come back from something like that. That you don't have to be enemies. That, all of that stuff that people like to say. But I kind of think, at least in my mind, this is what something that Chris Rock is actually showing him. He not trying to attack. He ain't sending people, to our knowledge, to do nothing to Will Smith. He ain't trying to shoot him. None of that kind of stuff. It happened. I just don't have to deal with that. Yeah. Move on about with my life. I think that's a valuable lesson. Trying to put people in a position where they always have to continually put themselves in harm's way to look like they're loving and forgiving. Yeah. I think that's a recipe for disaster. But there's something said. There's something to be said for, hey, you did what you did. It is what it is. I don't F with you no more. We ain't got to talk. We ain't got to nothing. I don't F with you no more. Hold on. Samuel says, it's interesting. This same conversation happened between Nikki Giovanni and James Baldwin. And Nikki made the statement, you lie to people you work with and smile and laugh in their face, but you show me your anger and frown face. The statement, or she stated, lie to me as well. I want to see your smiling face and receive compliments as well. All right. All right. LaDonna said, Will Smith, we'll know he looked bad. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm almost out of time, y'all. California and Illinois, or Illinois, as some people like to say it. California and Illinois declare monkeypox emergencies. Monkeypox emergencies. I just want y'all to know, if they move to the point where they forcing y'all to get the monkeypox vaccine, I support them forcing y'all to get the monkeypox vaccine, because y'all supported people trying to force people to get that coronavirus vaccine. But they said all available public health resources, they're unlocking all of those to fight the illness. So are we fist bumping still? Maybe we to the point, well, we just need to just not, don't look at me, don't talk to me, don't breathe on me, don't touch me. Don't look at me, don't talk to me, don't breathe on me, don't touch me. There is no S sound at the end of Illinois. I know, but some people say it that way. It drives me crazy. Uh, Jesus says wave. Yeah, I'm almost to the point where people be putting their fists out, and I'll be looking at their fists, see if it's any sores or anything on their hand. Is there anything on your hand that before I touch your fist? Because I don't want that daggone monkeypox on my knuckles. Like, I don't know. There's a video floating around. The girl has monkeypox. Yeah, I seen it. I don't want to, fist bump you and you got a little something on your hand. And, I be rubbing my hands. And then I touch my face. And then next thing you know, I got some monkeypox, on my mouth or something like that. And people are like, oh, we knew that he was sucking that D. Like, what? No. How you going to explain to somebody, no, I got this from fist bumping? Right. Yeah. You got monkeypox on your mouth. Monkeypox on your mouth. MAUF. On your mouth from fist bumping. Sure you did, man. Sure you did. Nah. I'm about to move where we not fist bumping. We not shaking hands. We not talking. Emanuel, stop being scary. We not built by fear. Look. If there is a monkeypox outbreak, there's a difference between being afraid and being cautious. Being afraid and being cautious. I'm talking about being cautious. You stick out your fist to fist bump. See, ain't no sores or nothing there. But if I look and there's a big sore here and you got some sores here and some sores here, I'm like, maybe we're elbow bump. I mean, I got these from fist bumping. You got monkeypox bumps on your lips from fist bumping. Now, we done read how that monkeypox stuff is spread. Because, that's what people think. That's how people think. That's how I think. If you got monkeypox and stuff all on your lips, in my mind, your lips have come into contact with some monkeypox. How did your lips come into contact with the monkeypox bumps? I'm just saying, it might not necessarily be, it's clearly not the only way, but I'm just saying. Sure, you got monkeypox bumps on your lips from fist bumping, Emanuel. Sure, we believe that. I don't even know if I could sell it. I don't even know if I could sell it. And I would know that it was true. I would know that it was true. And I'd still be like, I'd be looking at Mrs. Livingston like, what? Hold on, what did you do? Because I got monkeypox bumps. I'm sure it's just monkeypox. But I like adding bumps. I got monkeypox bumps on my lips. What did you do? Mm-mm. Wait a minute. I saw a comment from Wyatt. Wyatt says, Will is forcing the apology on Chris. The first apology should have been in private, then a public apology. Chris said that's for Will. He's doing that for him. There's actually a story that I saw, a headline anyway, that said Jada forced Will to issue that apology. But Will thought it was just going to blow over. I don't know that to be true. I don't know. But I'm just saying, if me and Wyatt fall out, I do something to Wyatt I ain't got no business doing. I agree, Wyatt. If I got a way to get in touch with you, I'm getting in touch with you. I'm apologizing to you. And if you don't want to accept my apology in private, I might openly and outwardly say, I was wrong. I was wrong. And my response would then probably be, I was wrong. I apologize to him. I don't think he was feeling it, but if he ever want to talk, I'm here. And if not, I understand. That'd probably be as far as I go with it. And that would only be, if I felt the need to address it public, Wyatt, if I slap the fire out of you on the Oscars, or if we do our broadcast on Monday coming up, the 8th, down at Eli's Barbecue, and we on air, and I slap the fire out of you, and you choose to do nothing, which Wyatt, that would be the wisest decision. But if you choose to do nothing, if I was going to apologize, it would be in private. Definitely, it would be in private. All right, y'all. My time is up. I got to get out of here. Coming up in a couple hours, check out Wyatt Live Drive at 5. Wyatt say, if you slap the shit out of me on a live show, I would never forgive you. Look, I'm with you. I agree. But I would try to apologize to you in person. If you get monkeypox on your mouth, Janice, I thought she was like a teacher or something. You don't know how to spell mouth. Don't be asking Mrs. Livingston what she been doing, what you've been doing. Nah, if I get monkeypox on my mouth, it either came from fist bumping or Mrs. Livingston and did something she ain't got no business doing. Cause I ain't doing nothing to get no monkeypox on my mouth. But yeah, no, don't forget, again, tentatively scheduled Monday. I'm 99.9% sure I will not have another funeral on Monday. And the funeral announcement was last minute. They had intended on having the funeral at another spot, and then last minute they moved it to the church, and so I had to go there and handle that. And the funeral is gonna be take precedence. It's gonna take precedence, but there won't be a funeral. I'm 99.9% sure there won't be a funeral on this Monday. So on the 8th, Eli's barbecue, 1:00, the King and I, and y'all come on down, say hi, maybe get on the mic or something. We'll see. But come down and say hi, get a little something to eat, and hang out with us if you feel like it, if you got time. All right. Wyatt coming up at 5. Check him out if you feel so inclined. I think that's about it. I got nothing else. Oh, wait a minute. I got a call coming in. Just as I'm leaving. Let's see. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. What's your name?
Is this the King of Talk?
This is.
Is this the dude talking about slapping people all up in the face and all that old stuff on live air, bro? Is that what we doing now?
I don't know who talked about that, but is this a bad thing from Beverly Hills?
Did you say you was going to slap Wyatt in his face?
No, I didn't.
Oh, that's what I heard. Somebody called and told me you said you was going to slap me in my face.
Who is this?
This Wyatt.
This Wyatt?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no, Wyatt. I didn't say I was going to slap you. I said if I slap you. The best thing to do is kind of like Chris Rock did. You say.
So if you slap me,
you say
the best thing for me to do.
You say wow.
Is to do nothing.
Yeah.
Like Chris Rock.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I was misinformed. Somebody told me, they said that when you see me, you're going to slap me in my face. I'm just playing, man. I'm just having a good time. Glad to see you out, back on from vacation, I guess,
I was not on vacation.
I mean, it's been a while since we seen you, bro.
It ain't been that long. Was I on Friday?
No.
I think I was on Friday.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I think I was.
Okay. Well, anyway, man, let's just talk about this. Are you still talking about Will Smith, or are you talking about the chicken pox, the monkey people, or whatever?
You can talk about either, but just for the record, I didn't say I'm going to slap you. All right?
I was just clowning. I already know. But I did hear you shoot that shade, though. You did say the best thing he can do is not do nothing. I did hear that.
That's just a good piece of advice from one man to another. I'm looking out for you.
I kind of took that like if I did jump, that there would be some problems or some shit like that. That's how I kind of took that. Any man would take it that way.
Wyatt, I'm looking out for you.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll talk about that later. We'll debate that one. If you decide to come to work on Monday. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, I'm getting all the blowback from you taking all these vacations and shit. I'm just getting all that blowback. I mean, people hitting me up like, bro, what is it, man? Is it, the King doing what he want to do and leaving the eye out? What's going on, bro? I'm like, hey, man, that's why y'all seen he was rocking sunglasses on, you should try dealing with this dude away from the camera.
Hey,
I mean, you know, I have to just put it out there sometimes.
As a king, I have certain requirements, and I expect
Okay.
those requirements to be met.
All right. Well, serious business, man. Let me just say this about the Will Smith, Chris Rock thing. I actually seen the apology as well. I wasn't really feeling the apology from Will. I think Will was doing that because that has been Will's Hollywood training. Will's been you know, as much as I don't like saying this because Will's kind of a great guy on camera, but behind the scenes, it's always been known that he's been somewhat of a manipulative person in his way or no way. And he's trying that again. And that is Chris Rock should not accept his apology until Chris Rock feels like he is genuine and it's a sincere apology. I really feel that Will Smith should have not issued a public apology to him until they worked their situation out. And then he could have publicly made that apology in front of everybody, whether it was Zoom, face-to-face, at a function, at a charitable event, or anything. But the simple fact that he issued that apology out in open air without Chris Rock being ready for it, then that shows me it's not genuine. It's not sincere. That was a Will Smith to the public apology to Chris Rock. And that's not authentic to me.
I wholeheartedly agree. That's exactly what, I mean, that same thing Chris said. Like, everybody want to be, now he a victim because he slapped me. And,
right.
And, you know, he gets up and apologized because he felt like that's what he needed to do for his career.
Absolutely. But, you know, Will showed that he was an actor the night of the show. And that was, he went from being, you know, Will turned into a victim that night. Chris is absolutely right. Will turned into a victim with all that crying and trying to bring Denzel in the fold. Denzel said, on your worst night, the devil will be there, which all that old, you know, semi-scripted stuff, you know, that was, I'm disappointed in Will Smith. And I have to salute Chris Rock. He's standing on his circle. I love the comeback that he came back with the, I'm not going to turn into a victim and allow someone else who was actually the perp to turn into a victim at this point. I'm not going to allow that to happen. So shout out to Chris Rock for holding his ground on that. I appreciate you bringing this topic up, man. It's great that and then they try to throw the color in there, like 2 black men need to make up and this and this and that. No. Right. And then I heard somebody say something ridiculous, bro. Sorry about that. And that is, Will Smith wouldn't have done that to another person. We don't know that. We had ever thought that he would have done that to Chris Rock or anybody anybody else of color. So stop trying to, not you. It's just, I don't know if you said this, but there's been some other people saying he wouldn't have slapped Will Ferrell or he wouldn't have slapped, you know, a white host or something like that. You don't know that. You don't necessarily know that. Now, probably it's least to happen, but we don't know if Will would have done that to a white guy or a black guy, quite frankly. Because I didn't even think that he would do that to Chris.
Well, you're right. We don't know. Now, and I didn't say it. I sure have thought it. And not necessarily about a white guy. I hadn't even considered it about a white guy. There is no part of me that believes that he would have done that to any white guy, any size. Now, when I thought it, I was thinking of some big guy. Like, he wouldn't have done it to somebody bigger than, I mean, Chris Rock is a small dude, you know, and so you feel comfortable walking up to some people would feel comfortable walking up to a Chris Rock slapping him, whereas they might not feel that comfortable walking up to Dave Chappelle slapping him.
Right. Now, I agree with that. But there's been a tone set that Will Smith, being a Hollywood black achiever, because that's what he is, that he would have never hit a white man on live television like that. And I don't know if that's necessarily true, bro. I just don't know if that's true.
I don't know if it's true, but I suspect it's probably true.
Well, that's a huge assumption because there's a whole lot of white guys that could have possibly been up there that got slapped. And I'm talking about smaller white guys that may not be very, very influential in the industry. You know, so there's a group of guys that are white that could have been up there and said that same thing, and Will could have did this. He would have had the same reaction, maybe. I'll give you one. The Island Boys, he would have slapped the shit out of them.
Who?
Okay. It's younger people. The Island Boys, the 2 little white dudes that look like Kodak Black. He would have slapped the shit out of them. He would have slapped them crazy too. There's a lot of white guys that would have got up on that stage that could have said that same thing, and he would have went off or did the same thing. It was uncharacteristic of Will to do it. So to say that he would have never done it to someone when he's outside of his character, that kind of sounds ridiculous to me. Because I would have never thought that he would have slapped Chris Rock.
I would have never thought he would have slapped Chris Rock. I definitely don't believe he would have slapped a bigger man than him. And I doubt if Jimmy Fallon had told that same joke, I doubt that Will Smith would have walked up on that stage and slapped the fire out of Jimmy Fallon. I doubt it. Now, again, I can't prove it. It's just how I feel. But I doubt it if Jimmy Fallon would have been on the receiving end of that slap.
Well, it all depends. It all depends. And I don't know Jimmy Fallon, and I don't know his influence in the industry. But it all depends. If Jimmy Fallon is not that much, if he's not strong in the industry, he could have got slapped too. But if he serves a position in that industry where he could call some shots and shut Will down, oh yeah, for sure. For sure. And it was big. Let me just say this. It was very, very big. People, y'all got to understand. It was very, very big of Chris Rock actually not to do anything, but it was much bigger of him not to have Will Smith arrested that night, because Will could have got arrested for an assault that night. And it was bigger Chris Rock saying no. And to be honest with you, LA didn't even need his permission to arrest Chris Rock. That was done in front of a room full of people. It was an assault, and they don't even need testimony from Chris Rock. There was too many witnesses, and it was caught on camera. So, I mean, just to be honest with you, man, I'm showing Will Smith had a lot of privilege there. We always talk about white privilege and this and that. I'm showing you black privilege in its making right in front of everybody. That was black privilege that Will Smith didn't get arrested.
That was not black privilege. That was
it was not?
No,
what was it?
That was rich, influential privilege. That was not black privilege.
Okay. So when black people get privilege, it's rich black people that get privilege. It's not black privilege. But when white people get privilege,
why? Because when you call it black privilege, what you're saying is the reason that he didn't get arrested is merely because he was black, as if the society.
No,
but that would be
that's
black
how
privilege.
That's how you define privilege. Privilege means however you get away with it by any means necessary. I'm not saying that white people. So you saying basically white people have white privilege because they're white. So
yes.
If they get out of a because they. Or if that white dude would have did that same thing to Chris Rock, it would have been what? White privilege if he didn't get arrested, correct?
Maybe somebody would look at it that way.
Oh, well, I mean, what is it? Let's define the privilege.
Well, if anything, I think it was rich, celebrity, influential privilege.
Okay.
But it wasn't because
all right.
Because
so
he was black.
So basically. So every time a black rich man who's in or white or a black woman who's rich and a celebrity, they get pulled over out there and something happens and they don't get taken in. Say the same thing like Nancy Pelosi's husband happened to Will Smith or something. That's rich, influential privilege. That's possibly not him being a black man.
Yeah. Possibly.
Okay, so then when it happens to a white dude, it's not him being rich or influential.
It all depends on the situation.
White.
Here is how you can tell what the privilege is. What's the reason the person didn't have to deal with the consequences of their actions? If the reason is because they're white, it's white privilege. If the reason is because they're rich, it's rich privilege. If the reason is, whatever the reason, that's the privilege. And the idea that Will didn't get arrested because he was black, and you know how they treat black people, they don't arrest them. That definitely wasn't black privilege. Definitely wasn't black privilege.
So wait a minute, hold on. Any other black person would have got arrested for that, right?
Possibly. Likely.
Okay.
So it was rich or celebrity privilege. But just some random run-of-the-mill white guy driving crazy, cussing at police, pull out a gun on him, and he ain't rich, he ain't no celebrity, he ain't none of that kind of stuff, and they calm him down and give him a warning. Yeah, that's white privilege. That's because he was white.
That's what we talking about?
Yeah.
That's what we talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about the same. One of my friends, she just got pulled over the other day.
Okay.
She knew the police officer.
Okay.
Black girl. She knew the police officer.
Okay.
All right. I say that's black privilege. He let her go.
No, that wasn't black privilege. That was insider privilege. That was,
Oh, okay. But we define everything as being white privilege when they get away with stuff.
No, we don't. Only when they get away with it because they white.
Say it again. I couldn't hear you.
Only when they get away with it because they're white and that they have that influence.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm learning today. I'm just making sure I understand what privilege is.
You know what privilege is. You just seem to be having a problem pinpointing what kind of privilege is happening at that moment. And to say black privilege, I don't know that I've ever used the term black privilege because there are very few, at least in my mind, there are very few circumstances where you being black is the reason why. Maybe the N-word. Maybe me being able to say the N-word is black privilege. That I'll give you. But other than that,
you sound crazy.
Other than that, I can't think of a time when I'm like, yeah, I got out of that because I was black. That just typically don't happen. And,
oh my God.
And yes, I can say the N-word because I'm black.
Damn. Okay, well, you know what? We live and learn every day, man. That's why I watch your show, bro, so I can learn me some shit. But I'm just saying to you, bro, I know a lot of us that are privileged. I know a lot of us that are privileged.
All right,
and it falls in the same category for the same instances. And I mean, I'm just telling you. And for us to get caught up on this white privilege shit, hey, you might want to get you some different friends if you ain't got no influential friends, and you'll really see what privilege really is. Not necessarily you. I'm talking about people in general.
But Wyatt, now I do have to go, but let's explore this for just a second. You say you know a lot of black people with privilege. Do they have that privilege just based on the fact that they're black, or do they have that privilege maybe based on who they know, or based on how much money that they have, or whatever?
See, what you just asked me is basically the definition of privilege.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, it's a great question. No, it's a great question, E. Just what you just said, you have to ask yourself, do white people who you say are privileged have that same avenue of definition that you just described?
Many times.
Do they have that same avenue? Is that what makes them privileged, or is it simply because they white? Because there's a whole lot of white people sitting in the penitentiary right now. There's a whole lot of them on court dockets every day.
And they didn't get the benefit of that, or maybe they didn't get the benefit of that right privilege to the extent that some other people did. But when we look at the courts and we look at sentencing disparities, some of that is white privilege. Yeah, they still sitting in the penitentiary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they still sitting in the penitentiary.
But when you do that, make sure you break down the true analogy of a sentence. I seen somebody post something on the thing today. Somebody posted something. It was on Facebook or one of those social medias, of course, putting out information they absolutely know nothing about. They show one white woman who got sentenced to some time, and then they showed a black lady that was sentenced to some time. The white lady they did the same thing. It was a felonious assault or something of that nature. The white lady got a less sentence. Now, I'm not sitting here capping for white folks. I just needed to be put up I needed to be put out the right way. Okay. I'm not capping for them, but I'm just saying. The white lady didn't have a felony record, and she was not on probation. The black lady had a felony record and was on probation. So when you add on the probation time to the sentence, it will be lengthier. Now, I'm not sitting here saying there hasn't been a disparity in the United States of sentencing ever, but let's look at these things sometimes before we say that that's the only reason why that's happening, because it's really not the only reason.
Well, I'm not sure that people are saying that that's the only reason. People are saying, though, that is a factor. Race is a factor. Shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But it is. And if me and white me do the same thing, got the same record, like we both go in and we rob the store. Ain't neither one of us ever robbed a store. Ain't neither one of us ever been on probation. Ain't neither one of us ever been in trouble. We both go to court. We both get found guilty. And Emanuel get 20 years. And white Emanuel get 10 years. White
Yeah, how many?
10. White Emanuel benefited from some white privilege. That's it.
I can't hear you. You cut off.
Oh, I said if we both did it, I get 20. White me get 10. White me benefited from some white privilege.
Okay. All right. I can't argue that.
Yeah,
I can't argue that. I can't argue that. All I'm saying is there is a such thing as black privilege.
Where would that come in?
I mean, come on, man. We got, hey, bro, we got a lot of people in certain positions these days, man. We benefit in certain positions. Now, everybody might not understand that, but if you get pulled over by somebody you grew up with who's a police officer, chances are you're going to beat that ticket. And they may not even write you that ticket. And I'm sure there's somebody out there has experienced some form of privilege, no matter what color you are.
Right, but that's not.
I mean, we all have.
I think we disagree. You're calling that black privilege. I'm calling that the privilege of, that's your friend. Because that would happen if you white. That would happen if you black. That would happen if you Chinese. That would happen if you Samoan. You know what I'm saying? This is somebody you grew up with. You might get a break because of that. That's not just because you black. It's not solely because you black. It's because of whatever that other thing is in there. To say black privilege means this is a privilege that you get solely based on your blackness.
Oh, okay. I got you. See, that's why I listen to you, bro, because you're educating me, man. I didn't know there was no such thing as black privilege.
I don't think it is.
Huh?
I don't think it is. I've never encountered a situation where I could look at it and say, yeah, that was black privilege. Never, not even one time. Like I said, except for maybe the fact that I can say the N-word and he can't. Other than that, I've never experienced black privilege.
That's the only privilege you can think of that black people have, is to be able to say the N-word and no one else can.
That's it. That's all I can
black
think of.
Privilege.
That's black privilege.
Wow. Okay. All right.
If
well, I'm going to soak that one in and I'm going to think about it for a little while.
Because if you could give me another example that, again, is solely based on race, then I'll roll with you.
Okay. I'll put a few together, man. Maybe we can debate it one day on the King and I, because I mean, trust me, bro. I got a shoebox full of that shit, but I'm just gonna let this one sink in, and then
right.
Yeah, okay, all right. I'll bring a few to the table when it's time. So everybody that's sitting here trying to explain to me or whatever what I don't know or what it is, y'all make sure y'all tune in when E-Man and I debate black privilege and white privilege. Coming to a theater near you.
You going on at 5 o'clock?
I don't know, man. You got me twisted right now. I got to take a nap first and see. I got to get my thoughts together. Yeah, I'm going on at 5, man, but it's not going to be about no damn privilege. I can tell you that now.
Tell the people, this is an opportunity to promote your show. It's an opportunity to promote your show. But what?
See, now you a real one. You the only one that do that. Yeah, you the only one that do that. See, that's why I rock with you.
What is going to be talked about on the Wyatt Live Drive at 5?
Okay, and you even got the name down this time. All right, now, what I want to do is I'm going to show a video today of how important fathers are. And I read your comment. And that's cool. You might want to read my response in your comment section.
Okay.
But anyway, I want to show you how important fathers are to our communities, because I know what your response was, and I'll wait for people to tune in and I'll hear what their response is. But I just want to show you two little brothers that are traveling with their dad and show you how influential and how important us fathers are to our children's life. And I'm going to be honest with you, E, this is a moment right here where, I have two beautiful black girls as daughters, but this is one that I got to whisper this. This video clip made me want to have sons even more, which I was not blessed to have sons. However, my daughters are great kids.
You still can.
This one right here. I'm sorry?
You still can. It's not too late.
No, it's too late, bro. It's too late. But anyway, I'm not going back through the elementaries and daycare days. Them days are over. But anyway, this shows the importance of how the role we play in their lives, grooming them as men, teaching them how to tie ties, giving them structure in their life, preparing men to be better men for the women set in front of them later on down the line, installing family values.
All right. Well, so he'll be talking about the importance of fathers in the lives of their sons. 5 o'clock. Where can they catch you?
I don't know. YouTube and right here on Facebook Live.
And what do they?
I don't know if and Instagram. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be serious when I come on at 5. I'm telling you, I'm flustered right now, man, because I just don't understand this privilege thing. I'm just somebody gonna have to explain to me what it is. I'm just being honest.
What do they type in to find you?
They can go to my personal page, Randall Wyatt, or they can go to Wyatt Live, WYATT Live, LIVE, and or they could maybe go to your page and look at some of your links. I mean, I think we have a link on King and I and things of that nature, and they'll, hopefully they'll find me.
All right. Hey, Wyatt, I appreciate.
We'll try to do it. I mean, we're a small community. We're a small community over here at Wyatt Live, bro. It's a family thing over here. So those that come in, we appreciate 5 minutes, 10 minutes of your time. Bring something. Bring a piece of you. Bring the truth, and let's talk about it.
All right. Wyatt, I appreciate
you. Hey, thanks, E. I appreciate you, brother. Nothing but love, man. I appreciate you. I really do.
All right. That's Wyatt. All right, y'all. I got to get ready to get out of here. I'm running late. It's been the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I hope something amazing happens in your life today. All right. Till next time. I'm out, y'all.